What is Café Mocha? Café Mocha is experts, celebrities.
What's up? This is Bell Biv DeVoe.
Yours truly, Idris Elba.
This is Fantasia.
This is In Vogue.
This is India Ari.
So much more. All from a woman's perspective.
What flavor are you, baby?
This is Café Mocha.
It's Café Mocha with Loni Love. Yo, I'm the producer, Angelique. Please tell me you've been watching Beyond the Gates, the brand new black soap opera. I understand it's a hit. Well, we've got one of the stars coming up on Café Mocha. Celebrating 15 years. It's just amazing getting the opportunity to entertain, to educate, to, hang out with listeners who have been around forever, to throw events. I mean, the only downside really is working with Loni. Well, I'm so sorry, but also on that note, I wanted to talk about the fact that, Black men, because Black women, we tend to stay up on our health, but Black men, we really have to remind our brothers to take care of themselves, to go to the doctors if they feel something is wrong. And I'm saying that because my friend, Deion Sanders, he was spending some time away from the off season because he currently is a coach at Colorado State University, but he had been having some undisclosed health issues, and he recently did a news conference where he revealed what his issue was. He was being treated for a cancerous tumor in his bladder. And he underwent surgery that removed the bladder, and that was found to be the cure of the cancer. So thank goodness he is now cancer free. He's going to, go back as coach, but he did this actual news conference with his team of doctors, and he just wanted to disclose. But the main thing that he wanted to tell Black men was to get checked out. Yeah. Definitely get checked out. So now that he does not have a bladder, he will have to go to the bathroom more frequently. And Deion is such a believer. He is a faithful man. He believes in God so much. He's always, making sure that he puts out the positivity. And so I'm not surprised that his spirit is still up. He even joked at the news conference. He says, well, now I depend on Depends. He's like, he was saying how him and his grandson now, they have competition for who have the heaviest diaper. And so, but, overall, he's, he had to get his bladder removed because they said that it's a good chance of the cancer coming back. Mm-hmm. And he knew something was wrong, but he was always, too busy to go to the doctor, right. Things like that. And so that's why he was saying, you have to keep up with your checkups. Ladies, every year I tell y'all, get your mammograms. Mm-hmm. Every year I tell y'all, go to the doctor. I'm due for one. I've got to, go and get it. If you don't have health care, there are clinics that have free mammogram services. I would suggest that you sign up and do that because, health is wealth. Without health, what are you going to do? So definitely, are there some ways, ladies, that you think that you could talk to Black men and get them to go to the doctor?
Well, one of the things that I've found is that Black men, especially the ones that eat right and are working out and are good weight, they feel like I'm doing all this stuff right, so I shouldn't have to go to the doctor. And that's how one of my dear friends wound up passing away. He had in his family, he had high blood pressure, he had high cholesterol in his family. But he thought, hey, I'm a vegetarian, I work out on a regular basis, I'm going to be fine. And he just wasn't. So even if you think you're in good health, you still need to go get checked, especially if other people in your family have conditions. And then also, guys, when you get something, when you're diagnosed with something, don't just get the treatment and go about your life like it's done. You have to go back. You have to get the follow-up treatments. Because I have somebody in my family who was diagnosed with a cancer. He did the stuff, and then he ain't been to the doctor since. And we're like, did you get your checkup? No, I'm good.
And
How
Mm.
do
with
you
that,
know if you're good?
and with that being said, Lonnie and Angelique, I think offering support, you know, I can help you, I'll drive you, or I can watch your kids, or something that you could do to help. I mean, it's easy for people to say do it, but you know, a lot of people have
Yeah.
restraints and a lot of excuses. So if you can help them erase some of those excuses, I think it would encourage them a little bit more to say, hey, listen, I'm gonna pick you up tomorrow. Let's go. What time would you like to go? You know what I mean? Manage the situation sometimes also help.
Definitely. I mean, so we, here at Cafe Mocha, we love our black men, and we want to, statistically, they have a higher rate of high blood pressure and diabetes. And like Angie said, once a year, just do a blood test.
Yeah.
Blood tests will say a lot. It could
Mm-hmm.
tell you a lot. Even if you work out every day and think that you healthy, get your physicals done. Because
Yeah.
early detection saves lives.
You know what I saw on Instagram? I saw someone, it was a gruesome picture. The leg was cut off from the
Oof.
hip and it was sitting in a
Ooh.
bucket and it had a rag tied around the leg. They had amputated this man's leg and they said, I know this is a gruesome picture, but a lot of men are experiencing amputations right now because this diabetic system, these diabetes are really eating black men alive, and men are stumping their toe, their cuts on their leg and not being able to heal properly. If you
Right.
see any of these signs, don't overlook it. Make sure you go get it checked out.
And also, you too, I think, and it's rough to say, but if you know that you're a black man and you had past drug use, you
Mm.
really need to go to the doctor because it catches up with you as you get older.
Mm.
Um, I think a lot of people don't realize that. They think that, it could just like, oh, I'm done. It can go away. It's lingering effects that happens. So definitely, if you're older, you should be getting checked out at least once a year. And like we said, we want to wish all the best to Deion Sanders. We're gonna give prayers of strength and health to him. He's just a wonderful guy and a
Yeah.
wonderful friend. So I wish him well. And thank you, ladies, for letting me talk about this. This is Cafe Mocha.
Coming up, he's one of the most hated characters on the new black soap opera Beyond the Gates. We're talking to Keith D. Robinson.
Standing in solidarity from a woman's perspective. It's Cafe Mocha.
It's Cafe Mocha. On the line, you know him as Miles from Saints and Sinners. He played Jennifer Hudson's brother in Dreamgirls, and his latest acting role is in the new black soap Beyond the Gates. Actor and singer Keith D. Robinson. Welcome to Cafe Mocha.
Hey, how y'all doing?
It's good. I mean, you know what? It's so good to hear your voice again, Keith. And, Beyond the
Likewise.
Gates has been this phenomenal story, especially for Black folks. But a lot of folks who
Yeah.
haven't seen it, what is Beyond the Gates all about?
Beyond the Gates is a daytime drama surrounding a African American successful wealthy family from the DMV, and it takes you down the journey of their lives and their relationships and their flaws, which they have a lot, and how they live their life. It was I liken it to. Do you remember a show called Dallas back in the day, or Knots Landing,
Yeah.
or it's like that? But it's a new age version for this culture for African Americans. I mean, it's the first soap opera that has a predominantly all black cast, and it's beautifully shot and well done, and I got nothing but good things to say about it. So hopefully people will catch on.
I have nothing but good things to say about it too. I'm not really a daytime TV watcher. Haven't watched
Angelique
soaps in
loves it,
years.
Keith.
I'm
She
sorry.
loves Beyond
I
the Gates.
watch the first episode, and I was like, oh
Yeah,
shoot. And then I had to watch the
yeah,
second and the third. Then I'm calling
yeah. It's
mom.
addictive.
Yeah, the clothes, the jewelry. I'm like,
Yeah,
where did that from? Oh, look at that. Anyway,
yeah,
go ahead.
yeah. It's well done. It's definitely. I think it's been a gap for a long time where we had something to watch during the day. So it's kind of refreshing, new take on soap operas.
I was going to say that, Keith, because soap operas nowadays, there's so much reality TV. For those who don't know about soap operas, I don't know where they've been, but what's the difference between the reality TV and the soap operas of today? Are they being shot almost like in a reality setting?
No, it's shot like a TV show. It's a multi-camera television show. I mean, there's a lot of technique and execution that goes into making an actual soap opera. It's almost like a stage play every day on TV, and the storylines kind of play out in real life, in real time because it's on every day. So it's almost like when we have issues in real life, they don't just show up on the same day and go away. So you kind of get to live and grow with these characters throughout the years, hopefully. So it's definitely a technique to it. Reality, I'm not really familiar with, but I know from what I know is probably, I think they give you a scenario and they turn the cameras on and hope they catch something that is watchable, right? I think,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
He said, I think.
Yeah.
What I love about Beyond the Gates, this is one of the first projects that was actually developed is a collaboration between CBS Studios and the NAACP.
Yes.
And so I think, I hopefully, with the success of this show, it will bring on more collaborations because, they try to say that, we don't translate, but we are translating, and this is just proof of it. But let's talk about your
Yep.
character, Dr. Ted Richardson. I mean,
Yep.
people hate your character right now. What's going on with Dr.
Well, I think they mad at the brother because he was depicted as, or they saw it as the perfect stand-up guy, which I believe he still is. He made a mistake when he was younger that he kind of buried in order to have his life with his wife, and they had a beautiful life up until what he did in the dark finally came to the light. So he's kind of torn between having kept a secret and now a secret love child that he didn't know about, and maintaining and kind of getting to the good graces back with his wife, who was really not having it at this point. So it's interesting because when I came on, I didn't know the good side of Ted, but my first day at work was me trying to, explain to my daughter the mistakes I made. But because I came on in the middle of kind of like the 40th or 50th episode. So the good Ted, I have not really had a chance to play him yet. I'm playing the redemptive Ted.
I don't mean to be cozy, but you did point out, you brought it up that you started 40 shows in, and there's a lot of gossip online about why that is, why you replaced another actor. Did that guy get fired? Blah, blah, blah. You feel like clearing the air?
Well, all I'm going to say is this, because in Hollywood, sometimes it's not an uncommon practice, and I just think they wanted to go another direction.
Mm-hmm.
I was a hired gun, so when the job became available, I kind of, they kind of reached out, and I came on board. But I'm not exactly sure the specific reason they didn't want to disclose that. But in essence, let's just say they wanted to go another direction that kind of fit more the flow of the show with the direction of the show. And that's kind of how they explained it to me. And I was like, cool, let's get to work.
Exactly. I mean, hey, the work is there. Everybody need work. So I would take
Exactly.
it.
I didn't ask too many questions. Yep.
Okay.
I was like, where do I stand?
Exactly. Where's the papers? Now, I did
Yeah.
want to know, is
Go
it
ahead.
a lot of like dialogue, and do you have to learn it quickly, Keith?
It is incredible amount of dialogue, and yes, you have to learn it quickly. So it's like it is kind of it's not like anything I've ever done. So it's definitely a skill set to where you have to be able to kind of absorb a lot of material in a short period of time, and then kind of communicate it and make it believable. So it's a good exercise in memory and application, to say the least. So it's not for everybody. It's kind of a thing. It's kind of a skill set inside of a skill set as far as being able to do that. So I'm having fun pulling it off. But yeah, you got to do your homework. It's like if I studied this much in school, I'd probably be a lawyer or something.
I love it. Let's talk about, you're working with some legends on Beyond the Gates. Clifton Davis and Tamara Tooney. What is it like working with people like that?
It's awesome. It makes it easy. You got a point of reference. You're around what I consider to be royalty in our business. It rubs off on you. You just kind of take your cues from them and hope that you can work as long as they've been working for 40, 50 years. So and they're really great and gracious. So they raise the bar. So you want to make sure you got your ish together before you walk through the door.
Exactly.
It's Cafe Mocha. On the line, we're talking to Keith D. Robinson about Beyond the Gates, which streams on Paramount Plus, and it's on CBS too. If you
It's on
have
CBS,
regular
yeah.
TV,
It's on CBS every day.
every
Every
day.
Every day.
Great show. And the thing that I wanted to bring up is that the ratings are through the roof. Whatever, I think it was The Talk. You guys replaced The Talk. Your ratings are better than The Talk was. And did you guys already get signed for season 2? Is that happening?
We did. We got signed for season 2. I think the ratings they said were up. They told me like 400%, which is, I didn't know that was a number. But so yeah, it's doing well, which we're very grateful for. Shout out to the fans, and we did get picked up for season 2. So top of the year will be season 2, and tomorrow will be our 100th episode that airs. Believe it or not, that was fast.
Wow.
Wow.
That's what happens when you filming every day,
Yeah, exactly.
And I think people just want an escape. I think,
Yeah.
And I also, going back to Yo-Yo's question, I feel the difference is that, this is a scripted show, whereas reality is, unscripted. And I think that you're able to control the narrative. I think people want to escape. And I think it shows the importance of people wanting to see other people, but also it's important. And I don't know how your feeling is about this, Keith, but I think that it helps other cultures to see that Black folks are just like them, Right. So,
Exactly. It's a great point of reference. I mean, for those who don't know that side of us, which is very predominant, there's a multitude of wealthy Black communities and Black professionals in this country and across the world. So to get a chance to depict it is important. And for our young kids, to see a guy that's portraying a professional actor, portraying a plastic surgeon or a psychiatrist. And so I think it's so positive for them to be able to see, to give them a point of reference.
I love that. It's Cafe Mocha on the line. Keith D. Robinson. We've been talking about Beyond the Gates, but he's also a musician, and he has a new music coming out called Forever Babe. It was released in July, and he has an upcoming album, Love Episodic 2. I am so excited about this. Can you tell us about the album, Keith?
Well, it's called Love Episodic. I put out a album a few years ago called Love Episodic 1. It's kind of a play on, I kind of wrote every song as if it was an episode, kind of a really dramatic storytelling body of work about my life the last 3 or 4 years. So I'm excited for people to hear it. I mean, I think people mostly know me as an actor, but I really came into the business as a singer-songwriter. I had a record deal, and I kind of fell into the acting. So my journey has really been making the people aware that I do music for real. So I'm hoping this album will enlighten everybody.
And listen, I'm telling you, y'all was watching the trailers for the movie and learning about I was listening to all of the songs. I'm like, wait, Keith has music and you sound so good. I didn't really know that your background was music first, but digging into your songs and listening to them, you are far better than, I love your singing. Can you tell us?
I appreciate that.
Was it acting first, music first? Like, what's the first love? I can't tell. You sound so good at it.
It was music. Yeah, it was music first. I mean, the only reason we moved out to LA was to re-sign. We signed with Motown. We got out of that deal, kind of got caught in an executive shift, which I'm sure y'all know about. And
right.
we ended up being a free agent touring around Atlanta, and then we decided, hey man, if we want to really get signed, we got to go to New York or LA. So we loaded up the car and we headed out to LA. And then once I got out to LA, shortly after, I kind of explored into an acting class, and that kind of started my acting career at the same time. So I've been doing both at the same time, but I think, film and TV is such a huge platform. When people see you there first, that's kind of the box they put you in, and then it's your job to kind of crawl out of that box and show that you do more than you're a two-sport athlete, I guess.
And these lyrics are so sexy. Who's writing these lyrics for you, Keith?
That's all me. That's all me.
And you wrote for the fans of Saints and Sinners, you wrote a lot of the songs in that show too, right?
I did.
Mm-hmm.
I played a songwriter, so I took it opportunity to, hey, I got some real songs. So they were open to it. So which I do on every project, which is what I've done with Beyond the Gates, with Forever Bay. So even back to Fat Albert, and I did a record with RZA and Old Dirty Bastard on Blade 3 back in the day. So
Wow.
I love
it's a rabbit hole. Yeah.
That is amazing. I mean, so acting is like your side gig, but music is your love. That's what I feel.
It's just like in the soap opera.
I would say my acting is my main hustle, and music is my first love.
Got it. Okay,
So
I got it.
I heard that the single Forever Bay, which is, about deep love and loyalty, I heard it was
Something you
about.
don't have, Angelique.
It's true, but
You did kind of say that kind of cynical there. I didn't catch that.
Sorry. But I heard it was about, your relationship in the show in Beyond the Gates. Is that kind of sort of written for the wife that just left you? Your character?
I kind of wrote it for a real relationship back in the day that it was inspired by that relationship. It never really came to fruition. And then when I got on this project, I was immediately looking for records that would fit the storyline of Ted and Nicole, and this one fit perfectly as far as a guy trying to remind his girl of the love that they first had. So it kind of worked, and I kind of went back and revamped it, remastered it, beefed it up, and everything. But the song itself was written a few years prior about the same girl with the same name, which is crazy.
Oh, interesting.
Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, I just love this conversation because I love people that are creative and that are doing their thing. And Keith, we're in this industry right now where it's kind of rough on people right now. What do you say to people that's like, what are some advice that you could give to people for, hanging in there, even though you might have a dream and it's not really coming to fruition right now?
I mean, I think that's the key. You said it, is you got to hang in there and kind of, enjoy it. Try to keep the main thing, and the reason why you even got involved or had an inkling that you could pursue it. Try to stay in that energy, but continue to work, continue to get better as you're waiting for the doors to open. Get good at knocking, and just try to, focus on the process and the love of it, and just getting better and finding opportunities. And eventually, the universe opens up for you. I'm a true believer of that, because I mean, for every project I've gotten in between, it's been 1,000 no's. I mean, it's mostly no. So you got to really love it. So, and it is tough. The game is changing now, so it is a little tough. But at the same time, with social media, you're able to create your own platform if you have the consistency and the desire to do it. So it's really how you approach it.
Are you gonna do any touring soon or in the future?
Absolutely. We were talking about that this morning. I'm trying to figure it out around my shooting schedule because it's pretty heavy towards the end of the year, but I'm hoping I'm going to do some spot dates this year. And then at the top of the year around Valentine's Day, we want to do a tour, and work the record from there, work the album. The whole project will be out. A few more singles will be out. So it'll be enough in the pipeline. I mean, my thing now is just really talking to people like you ladies and other platforms and performing, just really making people aware that I do music, because there's still a large majority of people that don't even realize that I'm actually a singer-songwriter.
Like me, I was like, oh my God,
Yeah.
you have to listen to the album. Our listeners have to go and check out this new album. I'm blown away. I'm impressed.
And we'll play your
Appreciate it.
single too. So we
Okay.
really appreciate you taking the time and coming and speaking with us. And we love the new single. So definitely we'll be watching you on Beyond the Gates. We'll be listening to you. And how can we keep up with you?
My social media is Keith Sings. It's like my first name and SINGS. That's my IG, and my TikTok is King Avery. But basically, Keith Sings across all platforms is really the easiest way to reach out, holler, hit me, and I hit you back. It's really me.
All right. I cannot wait for your 100th episode of Beyond the Gates. We've been talking to Keith D. Robinson, of course, Beyond the Gates, daily on CBS and on Paramount Plus. And of course, his new single is called Forever Bay. Thanks, Keith.
Thanks so much. I appreciate you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Keith. Take care.
All right, thanks. All right, take care.
You can stream Beyond the Gates on Paramount Plus or watch it the good old-fashioned way, the way Grandma and them do, on CBS, 2 p.m. weekdays. This is Café Mocha.
We're at Café Mocha Radio. Socially savvy on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Serving up more Café Mocha on the way. Standing in solidarity from a woman's perspective. It's Café Mocha.
It's Café Mocha with Loni Love, Yo-Yo. I'm the producer, Angelique, and certainly over the last few weeks, we have had some very disturbing, upsetting, shocking deaths in the Black community, starting with Malcolm Jamal Warner.
Yeah, for those who, I mean, it's been everywhere, but we were all shocked to hear about the death of Malcolm Jamal Warner. He was on vacation with his family in Costa Rica, and he was swimming in the ocean, got caught in a rip current, and he died from asphyxiation. Is that how you say it, Angie? Let me take that again. He was vacationing with his family in Costa Rica, swimming in the ocean, and he got caught in a rip current and he died from asphyxiation. And it was such a sad thing. There were a couple of reports that were different. One report at first said he was with his daughter in the ocean, but that turned out to get cleared up. It was just him. And there was another man that I believe was trying to help him.
Yeah.
And he ended up getting caught, but he ended up going to the hospital. And his condition he's getting better, but unfortunately, Malcolm did not make it. And people that know Malcolm, we grew up with him as Theo on The Cosby Show. And then he was with Malcolm and Eddie on his show. And just recently, he was on the show The Residents with Morris Chestnut. And all of Black Hollywood and Hollywood in general, he was unproblematic. He was, to be a child star. We had his mother, Pam Warner, on,
Yeah.
and she wrote a book about raising a child star. And, we could see why, he was so unproblematic because he was just phenomenal. And no one had a bad thing to say about Malcolm. It's just that we're still all in shock. Have you met him, Yo-Yo?
I did meet him. My sister called me. She said I cried like that was our cousin. First time she met him was in my living room. I've traveled several times with his mom on the plane. And I mean, just like you said, a gentle giant, a family man, and someone who so great, devastating.
What about you, Angelique? Your feelings about this?
I mean, it's just heartbreaking because he was so multi-talented. He won the Grammy for that song he did with Layla Hathaway. He does spoken word on the song. And, that's the side of him that we never really got to see as much as maybe he probably wanted. And the fact that he has a, relatively new family, a new wife, the child. I mean, it just hurts. It just hurts because, he had so much left to give.
So much life left to give. And so we want to give our condolences to his wife and his young daughter, also to his mother, Pam Warner, and to all of his fans. It's just, the thing is that at least he will live on through his work, but definitely something that we here at Cafe Mocha are mourning, the loss of Malcolm Jamal Warner.
I mean, it's like, what do you say when this man, I mean, no one had anything bad to say about him. He was one of the first gentlemen that I met who allowed his mother to be a part of his journey. I mean, I could only wonder how his mom is feeling. We send our heartfelt condolences to his family, his child, his mom, his wife. But we can learn from this also. Maybe God sent the strongest one to send a message. These currents are really taking out more people than we could imagine. I mean, he so great in life that a lot of these things go unnoticed and unheard of. But because of his death in this tragic accident, a lot more awareness we'll have more light on.
Yeah, rip currents are no joke. I got caught in one. And after that, I was like, "Oh, Lord, get me out of this." And I've been a pool girl with a cocktail ever since because it is so, it's just so, it
Scary.
takes you and it's scary. And no
Hmm.
matter how good of a swimmer you are, or, if it catches you, you don't know if you don't know how to get out of it, or you get scared, or, you start trying to fight it. It's
Yeah.
like, it's just a scary situation.
And so many people have had those stories. I did this 3 years ago. Alex, who also works with Cafe Mocha Radio, can attest to this. I almost got pulled under. I jumped in the ocean in Mexico and off the boat. And I mean, not until my sister realized, because she was filming me, everyone had their cameras out, yo-yos in the water, until she said, "Oh no, something's wrong." And I was screaming, "Help!" you know,
Hmm.
Oof.
and it was just taking me under. And even though I had a life jacket on, it was still ripping me. It was ripping me. And I love to swim, but I will never, ever jump off of a boat into the water that I know nothing about. The water is very powerful.
It's powerful.
And just so you know, one of the ways that you can potentially spot a rip current is that it looks choppier, it's darker, it moves faster. You might see foam gathered around that area, or seaweed. Um, they say that you should swim parallel to the shore. So don't try to move toward it, just sort of
Yeah,
swim
try to.
parallel.
I had
Oh,
my boogie board, so that helped me a lot because it kind of gave it like a defense,
hmm.
but it's just tragic. So
The deadline for the HBCU First Look Film Festival is August 28th. Even if you don't have a film, the HBCU First Look Film Festival is for anybody interested in the entertainment business. This year, Marseille Martin from Blackish is going to be there. Legendary actress Lynn Whitfield from The Chi is doing a master class. So is filmmaker David E. Talbert. So make sure you, again, go to hbcufirstlook.com.
Here's your dose of espresso. Strong, hot news now.
This is the Espresso. We're sending prayers to Deion Sanders, whose doctors discovered he had bladder cancer and quickly took care of it. He offered this word of advice to black men and everybody else.
Get checked out. Because if it wasn't for me getting tested for something else, they wouldn't have stumbled up on this. Get checked out.
Did Keisha Cole just say she wants to have another baby?
And you set so many goals for yourself, and imagine accomplishing those goals, all the goals that you set for yourself. I mean, I think setting new goals and just wanting new things in my life, I think a girl would be one of them. Yeah, and a husband.
And happy birthday to Mother Henderson of Atlanta, who just turned 105. Her granddaughter said faith and acts of service is probably why her grandma's still kicking.
She's met a couple of presidents, first wives, a lot of dignitaries, advocating all for her people, and did all of this work as a volunteer. That is even more impressive.
That's the Espresso.
This is Cafe Mocha. Radio from a woman's perspective.
we also want to give our condolences to our sister of the show, MC Light, on the loss of her mother.
Yeah, Constance Moore, MC Light's mother, Lana Moore's mother. I went to the memorial. Her mother battled cancer for a long time. And we got a chance to celebrate her this past week. And what a beautiful celebration, Loni and Angelique. Oh, God. I mean, just to know that Light was satisfied knowing that her mother was not in pain anymore. She took care of her mother. She was the daughter that every mother wanted. And the memorial was beautiful. Everyone wore yellow and white.
Nice.
All of her hip hop sisters, Queen showed up. I mean, so many different people. Um, um, so many parents of her friends, her church family. Warren Campbell did the eulogy and spoke so highly. He said, sometimes, you do these eulogies and you have to pull up stuff about people. He said, this was somebody who would always be in a part of the congregation playing that tambourine. If she wasn't playing that tambourine, she had her hands in the air. He said, if she didn't have her hands in the air, she was tapping her feet. And he said, and that's what the world needs, joy. When you have joy in you, the heavens open up for you. So we just want to celebrate our sister of Cafe Mocha Radio and my sister of hip hop, Lana Moore, in memory of her mother, Constance Moore.
And I did speak with her, and Light is, she's doing very well. I think she knows that her mom did a great job. And like you said, it's just, when you lose your mom, it changes you forever. And she will go through ups and downs, but the prayers are there. And luckily, she has, the wonderful hip hop sisters and the community to be there with her, and our continued prayers for her.
Want a little more of our flavor? Stay right there. It's Café Mocha.
And lastly, I want to report that my sister Amber Rail, who was the wonderful chef. You see her on Food Network all the time. I was on a show called Worst Cooks in America, and Amber Rail was the host. She died last month, and now it's been revealed that it was suicide. And I was just so honored to know Anne and everything that she brought to cooking. She loved cooking, the joy of it. She taught me so much. Just by being on that show, I learned how to make sausages by hand. I learned how to make pasta by hand. I mean, when I tell you, she respected the word chef, and that's why we called her chef, because she actually studied the art of cooking. I just can't believe that she's gone, and she's definitely going to be missed.
And I just wanted to point out that there are a lot of struggles. And if you can't talk to your friend, if you can't talk to your mom, if you can't talk to your pastor, please get a therapist. There are services that are available on scale, so you can kind of pay by donation, or if you don't even have money. But we need to take our mental health a lot more seriously, because it's fragile. Any little thing, any kick in the knee can be the thing that puts us over the edge. So please take your mental health as seriously as you take other things, and in fact more seriously, because without that good mental health, it makes everything else more difficult.
So we had a lot of passings, and we just, it just for me a reminder of how precious life is and how short life can be, and how you should live it, and not be afraid to live out loud, because no one knows the time.
If you want to hear the full conversation with actor-singer Keith D. Robinson, check out the podcast wherever you listen to podcasts. And don't forget, the deadline to submit your film to the HBCU First Look Film Festival is at the end of the month. Go to hbcufirstlook.com to enter. As always, it's going to be star-studded. Marseille Martin of Blackish, Lynn Whitfield of The Shy, filmmaker David E. Talbot will all be sharing their tips on making it in Hollywood. Go to hbcufirstlook.com. Until next week, you can find us on all platforms at Café Mocha Radio. Café Mocha is a production of Miles Ahead Broadcasting in partnership with Super Radio. Executive producer Sheila Eldridge. For comments, booking, or more information, visit cafemocharadio.com.